What if I told you that the most insane anime of 2024 starts with a teenage girl getting her, let's say, private areas stolen by aliens, while a nerdy boy gets possessed by his own grandmother's spirit after losing a very different kind of body part to a speed demon? Yeah, you heard that right. Welcome to DANDADAN, the anime that's so absolutely unhinged that it somehow became the most addictive show on the planet. In just 3 months, this bizarre masterpiece racked up over 90 million hours watched on Netflix alone, left Twitter in complete chaos with its weekly episodes, and had anime fans questioning everything they thought they knew about storytelling. But here's the kicker. Beneath all that supernatural madness lies the most unexpectedly genius anime formula that's ever been created. Let me break down exactly why DANDADAN didn't just break the internet. It completely shattered the rules of what anime could be. First, let's talk about the absolute genius of its setup. Most anime spend episodes building up to their first big moment. DANDADAN? It throws you into the deep end of complete insanity from minute 1. Momo Ayase, our badass psychic protagonist, and Ken Okarun Takakura, the UFO-obsessed nerd, start with the most ridiculous argument in anime history. Do ghosts or aliens exist? But here's where it gets brilliant. Instead of just telling us, the show literally makes them prove it by visiting the most haunted and most alien-infested locations simultaneously. What happens next is pure cinema. Okarun gets his family jewels stolen by the Turbo Granny. Yes, that's a real character. While Momo gets abducted by aliens with some very questionable intentions. Now, most anime would make this the season finale. DANDADAN makes it episode 1, and that's exactly why it's absolutely genius. See? What creator Yukinobu Tatsu understood that most anime creators miss is this. Modern audiences do not have time for slow burns. We live in the TikTok era. You have seconds, not episodes, to hook your audience. DANDADAN grabs you by the throat from frame 1 and never lets go. But here's what separates DANDADAN from just being random chaos. It's the most perfectly balanced emotional roller coaster ever created. One moment you're laughing until your sides hurt at Okarun's awkward attempts at being cool. The next moment you're genuinely invested in Momo's family trauma and her relationship with her grandmother's psychic legacy. The show mastered something that Western media has been trying to figure out for years. How to blend absolute absurdity with genuine emotional depth. When Okarun transforms into his possessed form, it's not just cool. It's a metaphor for finding confidence when you feel powerless. When Momo uses her psychic powers, it's not just flashy. It's her connecting with her family's spiritual heritage. And can we talk about the animation? Science SARU didn't just animate this show. They created a visual drug. Every single frame looks like it was crafted by someone who mainlines pure creativity. The way they blend 2D and 3D animation during the transformation sequences is not just impressive, it's borderline illegal how good it looks. But here's where DANDADAN gets really smart. It knows exactly what modern audiences crave: unpredictability. Just when you think you understand the pattern, they introduce a new type of supernatural entity that completely changes the game. Aliens that are obsessed with specific body parts? Check. A granny ghost that races at 100 mph? Absolutely. A crab monster that speaks like a Yakuza boss? Why not? The genius is that this isn't random weirdness. It's strategic weirdness. Every bizarre element serves the story while keeping viewers constantly guessing what's coming next. It's like the creators took everything that makes anime great, the action, the comedy, the heart, the visual spectacle, and cranked it up to 11. And let's be real about why it's connecting so hard with English-speaking audiences. DANDADAN doesn't talk down to its viewers. It assumes you're smart enough to follow its rapid-fire blend of genres, mature enough to handle its more adult themes, and weird enough to appreciate its completely unhinged sense of humor. The relationship between Momo and Okarun is probably the most realistic teenage relationship ever put in anime. They're awkward. They misunderstand each other constantly. They're dealing with literal supernatural chaos while trying to figure out their feelings. It's like if your most embarrassing high school memories got mixed with the most epic supernatural adventure ever. But here's what's really brilliant about DANDADAN's approach. It uses its supernatural elements as metaphors for real teenage experiences. The body horror? That's puberty anxiety cranked to supernatural levels. The possession sequences? That's the feeling of losing control during emotional moments. The constant chaos? That's just being a teenager, but with actual ghosts and aliens. What really sets DANDADAN apart is how it handles its more controversial elements. Instead of shying away from the weirdness, it leans into it while never losing sight of its characters' humanity. The show manages to be simultaneously the most bizarre and most heartfelt anime of the year. And that soundtrack? Creepy Nuts absolutely killed it with the opening theme. Otonoki isn't just a song. It's a perfect encapsulation of everything DANDADAN represents. Chaotic, energetic, slightly unhinged, but undeniably catchy. It's the kind of opening that gets stuck in your head for weeks. The real test of any anime isn't just whether it can hook you, it's whether it can maintain that energy. Most shows that start this intense burnout by episode 5. DANDADAN? It somehow manages to keep escalating while developing its characters and expanding its world. Each episode feels like a season finale from any other anime. But here's where things get really interesting, and why DANDADAN might just be the most important anime of the decade. The show isn't just entertaining, it's literally rewriting the rules of what anime can be in the modern era. It's proving that audiences are hungry for content that doesn't follow traditional formulas, that respects their intelligence, and that isn't afraid to be completely unhinged while still having genuine heart. DANDADAN represents a new evolution in anime storytelling, one that understands that modern viewers want everything: incredible action, genuine emotion, mind-bending visuals, complex characters, and most importantly, the feeling that anything could happen at any moment. But there's one aspect of DANDADAN that most people completely miss, and it might be the secret to why this show is so addictive. There's actually a hidden pattern in the chaos, a method to the madness that becomes clear once you understand the true nature of what Momo and Okarun are really fighting against. And when you realize what it is, it changes everything about how you see the show. The question is, are you ready to discover the secret that makes DANDADAN not just the craziest anime of 2024, but potentially the smartest one too?